Happy Friday, everybody. It's your pal, it's your compadre, it's your amigo, John, to the Ahorn Rape. Oh, still going strong. This thing is old, and it cost me 99 cents. Every dang penny's worth. You are listening to another awesome, amazing episode of the Fried Pod. Don't eat Tide Pods. Listen and watch the Fried Pod. That's right, I say watch because we're on YouTube. This is, I want to say, the sixth one or something on the YouTube, but we're still on SoundCloud, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. All that's on All Things Comedy Network and The Mesh. Oh, it's a lot of stuff. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. If you're a new person, I appreciate you. If you're an old person, I still appreciate you. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share. That's right. 2 R's, 2 S's. Rate, review, subscribe, and share. All right? Just pick one of them. That'd be fine. Got your emails last time. Oh, if you want to email me, if you want me to read your email, it's very simple. It's very simple. It's johnreep@gmail.com. Can you believe that? I grabbed it before it got popular. JONREEP@gmail.com. I got a lot of emails from the last time, so I'm just going to start picking like my favorite one, you know. I can't read all of them. So this one is from a girl named Shannon Thompson, and it's 2 paragraphs. We're going to get through this. I'm not the best reader. You know that. Maybe you don't. Well, you do now. You're about to find out is what I'm saying. Starts off, hello, country Chevy Chase. That's me. If you don't know what she's talking about, go watch the last episode. First off, I have to say thank you for the awesome pool scene on the podcast. I am not sure if the leopard bikini or the red one piece was better. I listen while I'm at work in the afternoon, and now my coworkers think I'm an idiot. Now, if she had stopped the sentence there, I would have been very insulted. But she goes on to say, because I have headphones in, and laughing hard enough where I'm crying. I must say that was hot. Woo. She said HOTTTTT! Exclamation point. Well, thank you, Shannon Thompson. Then she says, now, I have to say thank you for also following me back on Instagram. And I do that, you guys. I will randomly follow you back from time to time. And it's me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, obviously, Twitter, Snapchat, all that stuff. Got the little blue verified. You know it's me. And I will actually respond time to time. It's very random. So don't be upset if I don't respond, and don't get too much of an ego if I do. It's just random. You catch me at the right time, in the right mood, you never know what's going to happen. So she says, thanks for following me back because now I am finally cool in the eyes of my kids. They laugh at me because they had more followers than I did. And so I asked them if I had a celebrity that follows them. And they said, well, no, of course not. And I said, well, I do. So, I don't know, celebrity, you know. You got to, no. Your kids are, no, we'll just keep going. They had no idea who, this is always great. This is all one of those, this happens a lot. People say, hey, my friend had no idea who you were, but I did. Like, that's a compliment. That's actually hurts my feelings a little bit. They had no idea. It's like, okay, well, I guess I got to work harder. Thank you, I guess. But anyway, I know you didn't mean it that way, Shannon, but she goes on to say, well, of course not. They had no idea who you were until I told them you played Ramus on Harold and Kumar, and also the Goodwill guy on Good Luck Charlie. Yes, a lot of range. Disney to an R-rated film. Yes. They said, oh, my God, Mom, you are so cool. I don't think they probably didn't say that. So, yay, I am finally cool, at least in the eyes of my kids. I might be an idiot in other ways, though, but that is beside the point. Keep up the great work. It's great to see you caring. It's great to see a caring son looking after his parents like you do. You do not find too much of that anymore. I hope your dad is getting better. He is getting better, kind of, sort of, like he doesn't have the feeding tube anymore. I mean, the catheter. So he is still paralyzed on his left side. Thanks for asking. We'll get a popsicle update later on. But thank you, Shannon Thompson, for writing in. And this girl writes in from Indiana Correctional Industries. Hard at work. This is a government email. So thank you for watching the podcast. Thanks for writing in. And there you go. So if you want me to read your email, johnreap@gmail.com. Last episode, I got a correction from the last episode. We were talking about a Netflix documentary called Evil Genius about the guy who wore the bomb around his neck.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So the movie we were thinking of, now the documentary on Netflix is called Evil Genius. Mm-hmm. The movie we were thinking of that was loosely based on that is called 30 Minutes or Less. And that was with, you had Danny McBride was in that.
Correct.
So thank you. That was sent in by Alan Talbert. Thank you, Alan. Now, I think we should get to the guest because he's sitting here looking right at me because he's here early. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Everybody start clapping for John Wesley Austin sitting right here.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you,
Good
brother.
to see you.
How are you, man?
I'm doing great.
Well, okay.
Which is hard to believe.
No, it's not.
No, I've had a lot of stuff going on, and so it's hard to believe I'm doing great.
Let's start from the beginning. He's a stand-up comedian, a good guy. I'm
sitting here listening to you talk about how it's funny that your celebrity status.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't know who you are,
oh no,
they sure don't know who I am. I told my relatives. By the way, my mama is from his hometown.
Yes.
Actually, he's from Hickory. My mama's from Hildebrand, which is right next door.
Yes, it is.
And so, anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. But I'm here visiting my relatives.
Yeah.
And so I told them all, I said, I'm going to be on John Reap's podcast.
And they said,
went, oh my gosh, what an honor. Who canceled?
Right. Marcus Stamos canceled, and 33 and the third, Sebastian. These are the other guys I have on here from time to time. No, this was an accident. Let's go back how we know each other. You're a stand-up comedian.
So,
from where to begin with? Born and raised.
So now the only time that I have ever been on national television was working with you.
That's right. And it was for
in 2007 for CMT.
Comedy Stage?
Right.
Or Comedy Club? Comedy Stage. It was a stand-up show. They just featured comedians, and we each did 7 to 10 minute sets.
Yep. That was my biggest exposure ever.
Are you kidding me? No, it's not.
Well, I did a thing not too long ago called Dry Bar. That was last year.
Yeah.
And
I've been seeing those on Facebook.
It's good. And it was clean, and so I can be clean,
right,
but it is not my forte. Right. It takes a tremendous amount of effort on my part to...
it's harder to be clean.
Yeah, especially for me. So anyway... But I tell you what, I don't want to blow smoke up your dress here too much, but...
Please.
First time I met you, I was excited because my mama was from Hildebrand.
Right.
And I knew you were from here.
Yeah.
And so that alone, I couldn't wait to meet you. And so then I found out that we were doing that CMT thing together. Well, that was the biggest thing I'd ever done on television at the moment.
Okay.
And I was about 6 months sober.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
And so I was coming out of my skin as a human being, let alone trying to be on TV.
Yeah.
And so I got out there, and I felt like my feet were concreted to that stage.
Really?
I don't know if you recall the first time you ever were on TV, but I imagine you were nervous, and you got better at it the more you did it.
Yeah, it's always you always get a little hit of adrenaline, no matter what. Anytime a camera comes on, it's like an out-of-body experience. Like, I know I'm in this moment. I know this routine. I'm doing it right now. Yet I feel like there's something about a camera being on you. It's like a big blanket, just makes you kind of want to be still or go over the top, which is what I kind of do sometimes.
So I have learned to hold still.
Yeah.
But I've also learned to be, and you had a lot to do with this. I watched you go up that night, and I watched it after they put it on the air.
Yeah.
And you were so animated and so just in that moment.
Yeah.
And I looked at myself, and I was like, I'm just a talking head. And I was like, I got to do something. And so for the last, I don't know, what has that been, 12 years?
Yeah.
So for the last 12 years, I have been working on just being more comfortable and...
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude. You have no idea.
No.
I am a product of all of the great comics that I have been inspired by and
Yeah.
continue
Wow.
to move forward all this time.
Well, then
So,
I thought you were great then. I think you're great now. I mean, that's the
I
last
look
time.
back on it and I'm real critical. Do you ever do that? I
Oh,
watch
yeah.
it and I go, oh my God, I can't believe I did
I
that.
cannot
Yeah.
really. Anytime I start to look at old videos of myself and I'm working on, updating my YouTube channel like I'm doing right now, I'm going through a bunch of old videos and I'm watching. I'm like,
painful.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
I'm sure I'll watch this and I'll go, oh my God, what was I talking about?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of me, but I appreciate you for being one. Okay, so we met. I think that's where we met.
Yep.
It was in Nashville. It was for CMT's called Comedy Stage. Now, where are you from?
So I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
My folks had a Winnebago.
Yeah.
And so they would take me out west every summer. And every other summer that I wasn't out west, I was right here in Hildebrand.
Wow.
So, by the way, I guess I need to do a shout out to all my peeps real quick, if you don't mind. Hold
please
on just
do.
1 second. I wrote everybody down. Just obviously,
they're here. They're here in Hickory.
Yeah,
they're
2 miles from this studio.
Well, hey,
So,
Alan, we got new followers now. I guess.
I was going to say,
This is
sign them
great.
up. Perfect.
So, hey, Aunt Nancy, Uncle Lester, my cousin Beth.
Yes.
And I'm staying with them. I'm actually parked in their backyard, and I'll get to that in a minute. But, of course, my cousin Wayne and his wife Berta, and Jamie and Donnie and their kid Madeline, that's my other cousin, and Cindy and Russell, that's one of my cousins, and Nia and Mark is my other cousin, so and her kids.
And that's like.
And they all live right here, except for some of them are over in Eichard.
Was that about 15 people there? Because I better see 15 new subscriptions.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure I'm forgetting people.
I hope
too.
they're on YouTube. That's great, dude. Yeah.
So my Aunt Martha and Uncle Tony, they owned they owned a mobile home park over here in Eichard. When I was a kid,
there's more than one.
When I was a kid, it was a dairy farm.
Okay.
And one day, I reckon they got tired of taking care of the cows.
Yeah.
And my uncle just said, you know what? We're going to make it a mobile home park. And it's still sitting right there.
What's the name of it? Give that place a shout out.
Country Squire Mobile Home Park, if I'm mistaken.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Well, okay, so
And my cousin Wayne still, they're
still there.
Oh, yeah. He had
So
to go
that's how this
he had to
whole-
go do trash yesterday.
Well, you got to do trash once a week at least. Unless you're in a mobile home, then you don't have to do it that often. No.
So I grew up playing on that property.
Yeah.
And it was a cow pasture.
Wow.
And I remember there was a creek behind it. This was a hideous childhood traumatic story when I was a kid. I was playing in that creek, and they called me up to the house. And so here I come. We would make boats and float them down the.
Yeah.
So I come running up, and I'm probably 5,
Uh-huh.
and I run through this muck and mire and stuff like that, and I start sinking. And I'm trying to get up to the house, and I thought, oh my God, this is quicksand.
What?
They don't have quicksand here.
No.
I was a stupid
Just
kid.
a lot of mud. But
My dad had to come out and rescue me. So
well, that can happen in those. Anytime you're next to a creek, the water can just really make the ground like really. I've stepped in deep mud and lost shoes many times growing
that
up
was
in
this
Hickory.
kind of mud.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like people equate cows with negatively, like they stink or whatever. I love the smell of cattle.
That's
I don't know
cash.
why.
That's
'Cause
money.
I grew up,
Yeah, I grew
playing
up.
with them.
Well, where I live now, where I grew up, is right next to a dairy farm, Wallace Dairy Road, and you just get used to that smell.
Yeah.
It's like that's
it
the
just
smell of
reminds me
cash.
of being a kid or whatever. So growing up, going out west is how this was.
So you grew up. I'm confused. You said Florida, but I'm hearing a lot of
Grew up
this
in
area.
Florida.
Grew up in where in Florida?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Born and raised there.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the Intercoastal Waterway in Fort Lauderdale.
And then, but your parents are here.
My mom was from Hickory.
Your mama's from here.
Well, Hildebrand.
Got it.
My dad was from Indianapolis.
Okay.
So my dad, I was trying to figure out how I'm going to explain this to you.
Okay, please. We got an hour.
My dad was kind of a redneck. So
What?
Even though
I don't believe it.
He's from Indianapolis. He ain't country. He's a redneck.
Okay.
My mama was country.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference in your opinion?
Oh Lordy.
Well, to me, a redneck is just more of a.
He would take us to the. I'm sorry.
You can be country and not be a redneck, but I think if you're a redneck, you're probably lean country. Although
maybe they both were.
I know to me it's semantics, but anyway, one was from Indianapolis,
Right.
Dad.
Yep.
And
So
so-
he would take us to the tractor pull.
Okay.
And he would take us to the thing where Bigfoot jumps all the cars.
Yes.
So she was just country. I don't know how to explain it. She was just, she's from here, and she.
So she was in Indianapolis?
No, she was here. I'm sorry. How did they meet?
Yeah.
So,
so if you got one in Florida,
Right.
one in Indianapolis, and we end up in North Carolina, we gotta bridge that gap.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So my grandparents moved to Florida when they were, I don't know, when she went to high school.
Okay.
Maybe she went to Hildebrand High the first year of high school and then moved to Florida.
Okay.
You know what's funny is my mom and dad graduated from the same high school that I graduated from in Fort Lauderdale.
No kidding. Small world.
And it's in the, this is a weird fact, it's in the gayest town in the United States, Wilton Manors, Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you
San
prove
Francisco
that?
has a higher gay population, but this is just something you Google it. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I always heard that Key West was the gay capital of the East Coast.
You'd have to Google Wilton Manors and see it's probably running neck and neck.
Okay. Fun fact.
Yeah. That's what's weird about being a comedian. You know stuff about
Yeah.
I don't know this fact for any other reason other than it's
writing a joke or something. Yeah.
It's how coincidence that I know this fact.
Here's how I know Key West is the gay capital of the East Coast. We'd go to spring break there 2 times, once back to back, in college. So one summer and then the next summer. So for spring break. But so me and my friends would go to Key West, and it's packed with college kids because that's where everybody went for spring break. And we're like, we notice there's pink taxi cabs everywhere, and there are like rainbow flags everywhere. And all the guys, I got one buddy named Joel who's like really good looking dude. He's like a Greek god. He looks like a statue.
Like us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, all these guys are like, Joel likes to smoke cigars. And so he'd be out somewhere about to light a cigar, and like 8 lights would come out of nowhere and go, "Hey, I got that for you." He's like, "Well," he goes, "Everyone here is so friendly." And then we're like, we still didn't put it together, right? And then we learned later on, me and my friends, we're striking out of the bar. It's like 2 a.m. We leave. Joel's still talking to a girl. He thinks he's a, "You guys go ahead. I'm going to hook up with this girl. I got my own ride. Don't you worry about me. Everything's great." So we go back to the hotel. And the next morning, like, where's Joel? He comes in at like 8 in the morning. His hair's messed up. He's like, he's been walking all night. And we said, "Joel, what happened?" He goes, "Well, I thought I was going to, hook up with this girl. I started walking home, and it's very like the Key West is an island, right? So you can really just walk to a lot of places." So he's walking back, and this guy's got a bicycle. Homeless guy rolls up on him. He goes, "Excuse me, blah." He just mumbles something, and Joel said, "I can't understand you." And he kept walking, and the guy came back like 5 minutes later, and he collected his thoughts. He goes, "I said, would you like a blowjob?" To Joel, he's like,
"Wow,
what?" And then we found out later on, like it's the gay capital of the East
This is where I get an Uber.
Yeah. Right.
I'm done walking here.
This is before Uber, but yeah. Let's get back to you, though.
I've actually been to Key West 100 times.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why in a minute, but I might as well tell you now. Being a comedian, you only have so many choices as to where you're going to work.
Yeah.
Comedy club, colleges. You can be a star like John Reap,
Please.
or you can work cruise ships. Well, right now, the main staple of my income is doing stand-up on cruise ships for Carnival Cruise Lines.
Yeah.
And so they stop there in Key West pretty often.
Yes.
And I started vlogging not that long ago.
Uh-huh.
And one of my vlogs, me and the comedian that I was working with, Dan Mangini, got off the ship and we walked around Key West. And I've already got a video of me and him hanging out in Key West. And everybody was
friendly.
Just so supportive of me and him hanging out for some reason. We couldn't get over.
They're very nice. I actually had one of the best times of my life in Key West.
They were fun.
I mean,
they're really great.
It's great.
Yeah, I ain't scared of them.
No, they're great.
So I ain't scared, and to be honest with you, it's because I know me, and I ain't gay. I'm not scared of them.
Well, you're a happy guy.
They're not going to hurt you.
No, of course not. Of course not. So let's get back to your comedy career. Where did you start? In Fort Lauderdale?
Oh my! So let's see. I was probably 7 years old when I was doing impressions of other people that I knew that I got to listen to their albums. So I was working the circuit here at my relative's house doing stand-up in front of them.
Oh.
I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Right.
doing like Cheech and Chong, and they thought that was funny to see a cute little 7-year-old kid doing Cheech and Chong. Necesitas donde está Santa Claus? The guy with the, hey man, what you doing, man?
He's not here, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I did Cheech and Chong with Tommy Chong one time. That was kind of fun.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, he's working the comedy club, you know.
Yeah, I worked with him one time,
yeah,
too.
super nice.
Yeah.
And so, so fast forward to the 12 years old when I'm doing stand-up in school.
Yeah.
Telling them old dirty jokes at my private Christian school. Well, they didn't have that at their house. So they would sit around me at lunch, and I would tell them these old jokes.
Yeah.
And so they loved that. Well, by the time I was 13 or 14, they were like, you should start writing your own jokes.
Right.
So I started working on material.
Okay.
By the time I was 15 years old, my dad knew some people because he was an electrical contractor. And so he took me to a contest that was sponsored by this guy that was like a local celebrity down the street from our house.
Wow.
The contest was in this place called the Chez Don Joe. It was in the Sunrise Musical Theater in West Fort Lauderdale. And I'll tell you what, in the big room that night was Steve and Edie.
Wow. How do I know that name?
So
Edie and Brickell?
Steve.
No.
Steve.
How do I know Steve Edie?
Steve and Edie were like a singing duo, and Steve was can't remember his last name right this second, but her last name was Gourmet. Anyway, Steve and Edie. Google it.
All right.
Famous Vegas.
Are you on it?
Like, all right.
You want me to Google that?
So,
Sure. Might as well while he's talking.
I'm in this contest when I'm 15. And just scared to death and stupid, just,
Yeah.
no idea what I was doing. I was a
Right.
kid.
Yeah, of course.
It was weird that I even wanted to get up there, you
Yeah.
know. So
It's scary as
I'm
hell.
wearing parachute pants.
Yes.
And I did like a Michael Jackson impression with I had penny loafers, and I think I moonwalked, and I had like a oven mitt for my glove because he wore a glove, you know.
Yeah.
Just stupid.
Right.
Just moronic.
So you were just dancing for comedy, or
I obviously
just
did
being
not-
goofy?
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Just stupid. I could tell you one of the jokes, but it's embarrassing.
You want to go? Okay, I'll tell you one of my first jokes. You tell me one of your first jokes.
My dad had this Craftsman tool set like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
Everything you ever dreamed of as a guy. So this wrench was like that long.
Okay.
In the tool set. So I took it out and I put it in my sports coat. And I know what you're saying. This fella's got a really big tool.
There you go. That's not. Now you're 15.
15.
Hey, look, that's not bad for a 15-year-old.
You know what's really
first
embarrassing?
time.
I still have one joke from when I was 15 that I still do.
Well, that means you're a great writer, and it's got longevity.
Why does toothpaste fall off the brush so easily, but it sticks to that sink like frickin' glue? I use it in the bathtub as caulking. That works real good.
Boom. That's not bad.
It's cute.
It's the same tube.
Yeah. So guess who won the contest
Wait,
that night?
now I have to tell you one of my first jokes.
Go ahead.
Because I told you
Yeah.
I would tell you one of my, and this is also embarrassing. One of my first jokes was, I got up there and I said, "This is a clean-shaven John Reap," and I said, "Yeah, I've been thinking about growing a goatee. I think I'm going to try. And go a goatee." And the audience would just sit there. I go, "All right, I'll try right now." like I was trying to physically push the hair out of my pores right there. It's dumb, but I remember
It's silly.
that.
I like
thinking,
silly.
It's just goofy.
Silly
All right.
makes me laugh.
So you win this
Because
contest.
I'm not very silly.
Yeah.
When I see somebody who is silly and they're successful at it, I emulate that, and it makes me want to come out of my shell
Right.
a little bit. Like a Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I love that kind of thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorites right now is Will Ferrell. I just love Will Ferrell.
Sure.
He's so out there and silly that it makes me want to be more vulnerable. And
Well, yeah.
you know,
one of the best ever.
What's amazing is we try to be cool. We try
Yeah.
to pretend we're cool.
Yeah.
I do, at least.
Yeah.
And what's funny is the audience likes you more the
When
more
you're not.
vulnerable you are.
That's right.
So-
That's right.
So I
And
did not win the contest.
Okay.
This other fellow won the contest. And he took me aside afterward. He said, "You want to do stand-up? You need to go to this place called the Comic Strip down the street."
Yeah.
Well, that was the sister club of the one in New York. The same
Right.
guy owned it at the time.
What year are we talking?
85. Wow. 84, 85.
Okay.
So the guy's name that owned the club was Richie Tinkin, and he was Eddie Murphy's manager at that time.
Wow.
And so, anyway, I started going into that club, but guess who the guy was who won the contest?
Wait, 85? I would know him?
You'll never know. You'll know him now. You wouldn't know who it was then. I'll just tell you.
Brian Regan.
No. But I'll tell you more about him, too. He started at that
I know.
same
That's
club.
why I said Brian Regan.
So he was the house MC. Brian Regan was the house MC at the comic strip, like, before I got there.
Yeah.
Like, not long before I got there. But his brother Dennis started when I started, and he and I know each other really well.
Oh, wow.
I love Dennis. He's super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we hung out.
Was that who it was?
No. I got a Dennis Regan story for you, too, though.
Wait, let's stay on the path.
It involves death.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So
Stay to the end.
Yeah. So
spoiler alert, somebody dies.
The winner of the contest is Mr. Goldberg on the Goldbergs.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Garland.
Jeff Garland.
Yeah.
He won the contest?
So he came to me afterward and he said, you want to be a stand-up, you need to go to this comedy club down the street and start going up every night.
Wow.
So he was there as he was a local guy.
Yeah.
And doing his set, and then he left there and went to Chicago to, I think, do Second City, and he did pretty well.
Well, yeah, he did. He landed on his feet.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. So that was 85?
85.
And then you started there. And then, so how did you grow from there? How did you get to where you're going to, quit a job? And
you know what just hit me, though, is like, that was, 36 years ago?
Wow.
Yeah, and this is like, for me, for a redneck like me, this is like the Tonight Show. This is like, anyway.
That's crazy.
So let me tell you who died.
Please.
So you know how comics, we get together and we hang out.
Sure.
And then after the show, you get sick of hanging out and then you go to bed. All right, so me and Dennis were working together on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Well, we hung out all night, and probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, we decided it's time to go to sleep. So I go back to my cabin and I'm asleep. Well, the cruise ship's a dangerous place. Or it can be if you're not careful and you're people do stupid stuff and they have a few cocktails and end up doing stupid stuff. Well, this was an accident, but it was still stupid. Anyway.
Yeah.
So they made an announcement, and I hear them all the time, so I didn't pay no attention to it because I've been there a long time.
Yeah.
So, but you can have a great time on a cruise. You just got to watch yourself and pay attention and don't be stupid.
Sure.
Just like anywhere. It's a city. It's just like a city, and you got to not do stupid stuff. So
Sure.
I'm trying not to swear. So anyway, but Dennis was new to ships at that moment.
Okay.
So he knocks on my door. He goes, "You got to see this." I go, "Okay." So I know Dennis, and he's not like a practical joker, So
Yeah.
I know it's got to be good. So
Right.
I wake up, I get up, I put on the clothes, I go out there with him. It's hard for me to trust people, though, so we get up to deck 10. He goes, "Look over the edge." I go, "All right." But I hold on real tight because this is, in my brain, this is where Dennis throws me over and takes all the money for the week. Right. But anyway, so I hold on tight, and I look over, and someone had fallen from deck 8 to deck 5.
Oh, my God.
And they landed on their head, which you can't really do that.
No, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah. So anyway, they busted their head open and they bled out and died right there. So,
wow. Well, I'm doing a cruise ship pretty soon.
So what?
Were you thinking that whole time?
Don't go near the edge.
Wait,
Are you really doing a cruise ship
Yeah,
soon?
well, I've done a couple already.
Cool.
But this one.
Which cruise line?
It's great. Let's look. Can you look it up real quick? It's I want to say Royal Caribbean, Mariner of the Seas. Yeah, March the 6th
Excellent.
to the 9th. And it's just 3 days. We're leaving Port
God,
Canaveral.
that'd be great.
Going to Nassau. Going to Coco-Cay.
Port Canaveral is
I'm
awesome.
calling it Come Laugh Your Nass Off with John Reap. And I'm
love
doing
it.
stand-up. I'm doing karaoke, and I'm doing one of these on the ship
Heck
too.
yeah.
But I don't think anyone's going to fall off.
Oh, my, that
ship.
is awesome.
Yeah, that's where we're going. So please, if you come to that cruise ship, no high diving off the
No, my
deck,
God, no.
please.
I have worked with Carnival for about 12 years now. Not too long after I met you on that, God got me this next job, which is working the cruise ship. So
nice.
I've been there a while.
Wow.
And I bet I do 3 to 4 runs a month.
That's
And
great.
so anywhere from 15 to 20 days a month, I have been on that cruise ship for the
Wow.
last 12 years.
Wow, no kidding. Okay, well, that's what I was going to ask.
So
what
living
you
on
been
living on the ship,
yeah.
you just realize that you do not need. I would go do the ship, and then I would come home to my then wife
Sure.
and child. I have a kid,
Uh-huh.
and in this 3,000 square foot house on an acre. And it was beautiful.
Where was it?
In Evans,
Florida?
Georgia. In Augusta.
Georgia.
She was from Augusta. So
Okay.
I moved to, I finally settled down in Augusta, and we lived there.
Okay.
But about, I don't know, January, September, we went to counseling, and that went real well.
Yeah.
So in January, she decided that she didn't want to do it no more. So
It's gone so good.
Yeah. So now I live. I sold that house, and we no longer cohabitate. And so.
No, that's God. That's what led me to you this time.
Yep.
Was that I would happen to be on Facebook, and someone tagged me in a comment that you had put on your page. And I don't see everything you post. You don't see everything I post.
Right.
We follow tons of people, and it's not like.
But you saw it because it had your name on
but
it.
they tagged me,
Right.
And it said, "Hey, this is in John Reap's neck of the woods," and it was a picture of your RV.
Yep.
And you were camping out here or staying here. I'm like, oh my God, what are the odds? I have a podcast. I want to get you on and I am jealous because I kind of been wanting an RV for a long time.
Somebody told me one time, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. So there's no doubt that all of this has probably worked out in some way.
Well, dude, if you want to do that, that's why I came back here in a weird way. I moved back here and my dad had a stroke. And I had not lived here in 26 years. Yeah. And I'm here maybe 2 months, and my dad has a stroke. And it was the timing's crazy because I'm happy to be here to look after him.
Yep.
Had I not been here, who knows what would have happened?
Right.
Yeah. So there's something to that.
Yep.
It's spooky crazy.
Can I jump in real quick?
Please.
And ask, so following up on the whole Steve and Edie, am I following this correctly? So are you talking? Are there singers?
That is them. They were singers
Back in the 60s
Steve Lawrence.
and 70s.
Duh.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember them. All right.
Steve Lawrence and Edie
So
Gourmet.
Steve Lawrence had been on the Carol Burnett show,
Wait,
if
when
I'm
you
not
said
mistaken.
Stephen Edie, I was thinking Stephen, first name, Edie, the second
Oh,
name. Stephen Edie.
So here's the other thing.
You were
It's
saying
so
Steve
Yeah,
and Edie.
right.
Steve Martin, wasn't he like performing with Edie Brickell? So, it's like Steve
before-
Martin
Right.
was coming up there
That's
too.
what made me think. That's why I said Edie Brickell.
Yeah, you had that right.
So let me tell you this
Dude,
before
I
we
love that you brought all that together.
Tying it all
Alan.
together, man. That's what
God
I'm here
bless
for.
you.
before we get too deep into this rabbit hole. What if I'm wrong and it wasn't Stephen Edie?
It don't matter now.
That's just how I
Don't
remember
go
it.
back in time.
that
It
is
is
the
Stephen
story. It
Edie
is
from
official.
now on. We've done looked it up. It is what it is. Okay. Now I remember. Was it SNL maybe or some other? They've been sort of spoofed before, Steve and Edie on stuff like Saturday Night Live, I think, which
Yeah.
is what made me think of it. Anyway, that's crazy. All right.
So it was some kind of singing duo that it was either them or it was. Oh man, I don't want to sit here and
Was
on
it
air,
Sonny
but,
Bono?
No.
Sonny and Cher?
No, it was not Sonny and Cher.
It's a guy and a
girl. What's the name of the fella that's in the movie where they spend the night at the museum?
What's
that guy's name? So
Come on.
Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller.
All right, so it could have been Stiller and Mira.
Oh, okay.
It could have been Stiller
that was
and
his
Mira.
parents.
It could have been Stiller and Mira, which was his parents.
Right.
So I'm not positive. It was either Steve and Edie or Stiller and Mira.
Okay.
So I get them confused.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It was a long time ago.
We fixed that problem.
Do you need to Google Stiller and Mira?
No, I know who that is.
Yeah.
That's Ben Stiller's mom and dad.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was, Jerry Stiller was on Seinfeld, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid at the comic strip, I was like 15, 16
Yeah,
years
you
old.
started early.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Well, Seinfeld popped in and he sat in the back of the room with us. And one thing I learned from him, we were sitting there chatting and he was like, if I remember this right, it's been a long time, but basically you write down, this is how I do it now.
Yeah, sure.
I remember him saying you write it all down and then go back and try to erase all the words you don't need without losing any meaning.
That's what Twitter does to people. That's kind of what Twitter does.
When I write Twitter, that's what I try to do. Yeah.
And
when I try to write jokes, that's what I do too.
Yeah. That's so. He's right. We should all do that.
Yeah.
But it's fun when I try and write a post that I think is funny, right? Just a post. I'm not even thinking of a joke. I'm just saying I want to say something funny on Facebook. Facebook will let you type a dang novel, right?
Yep.
So then I go like, well, I got to share it over here, and then but that they only have this many characters. So in a weird way, Twitter has made me funnier because
a better editor.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So there's
even
truth to
Facebook. If I want it to appear big with a nice background as a meme,
Yeah.
it has to only hold so many words.
that. Right. It's crazy. So how did you start? You started at 15 comic strip. Now, when did you decide? Were you going every weekend? Were you doing other clubs?
When I first started with the comic strip, it was on open mic night. Every Monday,
Right.
they had open mic night. Well, they had a regular show.
Yep.
Where there was 3 comedians.
Okay. Right.
This comic strip back then knew how to milk the drink money out of a patron.
Yes.
So they would have an MC go up.
Okay.
Then they would have 3 feature acts, basically.
Right.
Or 2 featured acts and 1 headliner.
Yeah.
So that's 3. That's a long show.
Yeah,
it was
is.
a long show.
Yeah.
So then that MC would go up, close the show. Thanks everybody for coming out. Now we're going to start
The open mic at the
night.
end.
And they did it after the regular show. Well, 90% of the
Everybody
crowd
leaves.
got up and left.
Right.
So here I am, 15, 16 years old, shaking like a leaf, trying to do my stupid little toothpaste
My tool joke.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's horrible.
All right. Well, so you did
finally
enough to keep going.
About the time I was summer of my 16th year, maybe I was in 10th grade.
Yeah.
They said, all right, kid, you've been here a long time. Stay out of the way and you can be a local act. Well, that meant I'd graduated to becoming a local act where I could go up every night.
Yeah.
So you would let them know you were available.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'd use you to MC. Sometimes you just got to do a 10-minute spot.
Yeah.
So they had they had a 10-minute spot in the show and a 5-minute spot in the show, plus those 3 acts that were already booked and getting paid. So you're talking 2.5 hours of show.
Yeah.
That's a long show.
Sure.
On a weeknight.
Yeah, it's crazy.
7
That's
nights
too
a week
much.
they did comedy at that club.
That's when comedy was booming.
Back in the day.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was exciting. It was new. Everyone
Kennison
wanted to
popped
go.
in and hung out.
Yeah.
You know, Sam?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. So that was like...
I don't
as
know him, but I know-
No,
I
as
know
a
him.
kid to see Sam,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Rodney Dangerfield
Right.
popped in. Because it was Fort Lauderdale. It was
Yeah.
popular,
Brian Regan talks about the comic strip a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that's where he cut his teeth, and that's what he said. It's like every night it was huge. It was a lot of people.
On the weekend,
Yeah.
there was a line out the door
Right.
into the parking lot around the building.
Yeah.
So I eventually, after becoming a local, then they said, well, you need to work here.
Yeah.
Or you can work here and make money while you're here.
At 15, at 16?
Well, I was probably 17 by then.
Yeah.
So I was waving cars in the parking lot with a flashlight.
Right.
Or flipping burgers in the kitchen and then put on the apron, take off the apron and run and go do my 10 minutes and then run back in and make sure the burgers weren't burning.
Right.
I mean, just crazy.
Yeah.
But they were working us to death for like $5
Right.
in our minds because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
always want more.
Yeah.
And so, but it was kind of whatever it was. So finally, at like 18, when I graduated high school, I said, I got to get out of here.
So you're doing this for 3 years while you're in high school, part time. And
Here's a story for you.
Yeah.
One time when I was a kid, I was probably 17, and this teacher come to me and she goes, why do you sleep every day in my class?
yeah.
This was Miss Geiger. You sleep every day in my class. Why do you do that? I said, well, I'm going to be a comedian. I don't need this.
Uh-huh.
She goes, well, you're so funny. Tomorrow you can come in here and do 5 minutes for us. I
Right.
said, well, give me till Friday, and I'll do 10. Mm-hmm. So I did 10 on Friday, and she never messed with me again.
Really?
I slept every day. And I aced her class because
It's the same 10 you've been using ever since.
it's that dadgum tool joke.
That's great. Toothpaste and tools, man. That's all you need in this business. Speaking of high school, I kept a journal. We had to. My teacher made us keep a journal when I was in high school, and I hated this at the time. And it was kind of like what you said. I would have rather have slept, but she made everybody write down something for 10 minutes at the beginning of class every day, my junior and my senior year. And it's a bit we've been doing on this podcast, John's Journal, where I just sit down and this is what I was thinking. Sometimes there are poems. How do you pronounce this word, by the way? Poem.
I certainly understood what you said.
Yeah.
So,
That's the highest compliment I can get.
so
a lot of
one
times.
problem I have is I take too much time with a word, I think. I would probably say poem.
Poem. Yeah, a lot of people say poem. I say poem. I put a Y in there. Poem. It's more fun to say it. Anyway, and she graded them. This is not a poem though. This is just a journal entry. And I got an 87 out of 90 on this. I don't know why 90 is the highest you can
90
get.
is the highest you could get.
I don't understand that.
That's an
All I
odd
would need
rating
is
system.
10% more on the full amount. Anyway, 87 out of 90, not bad. This is embarrassing, by the way. I'm being very, very vulnerable right now in reading this.
Good.
I guess I have just an ordinary family. My dad works at Clark Tire and Auto in Lenore. He's the manager, put that in quotes. My mom has had so many different job changes that I really don't exactly know what she does now. But I do know that she does something at a Centel office building. I also have a little brother. His name is Jason. He is a sophomore this year, and he's taking 2 maths, which I wish I was smart enough to do. 2 maths.
Oh, 2 maths.
Not math 2. It's 2 separate maths.
The same class, just taking it 2 different times, just to.
Jason was smart enough that he
double
could
up
take
on it,
2
yeah.
maths at the same time.
Wow. Okay.
Simultaneous. It's like Chinese checkers.
Pretty good, yeah.
Next paragraph. I don't have any hobbies, but I do love sports. My favorite sport is football. I play on the varsity football team this year. I'm not going to be one of the starters on defense, but I do get to start on the kickoff team. I hope I do a good job. One of my many goals for this year is to make much better grades. Last year, I failed almost every class I had at least once in 6 weeks.
Wow.
That's a goal. Everyone, at least it's a rotation.
Right, yeah. It's like this one's time to fail. So,
next time, science. Yeah. My future plans, God, I cannot. My future plans was to play football for some big college, but I know now that it can never be. So what I'll probably do is go to a community college somewhere, and hopefully I can do something in the astronomy field.
It's like you went from football to astronomy.
Me saying I can't do math.
Well,
one sentence. Then saying I'll probably be an astronomer.
But I think high-end physics would be perfectly up my alley.
I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, one of my English strengths is writing. Although I'm not too good at it, I like to do it. One of my weaknesses is reading novels. I hate to read novels. I don't mind short stories, but I hate novels. That's how the whole thing ends. Now, here, I want you to see how I spelled the word although. Okay?
Okay.
ALLTHOW.
Although. It works. Although.
In that same,
all that.
In the use of that word, I'm saying one of my English strengths is writing.
Right. I like the irony.
And then although. I mean, I'm going to have to scan this one and put it up there so you can see how I spelled although.
John, man, it was about the most negative about yourself story you could.
Yeah.
I was like, everything is like, well, I'm not really good at that.
I know now that will never happen. Yeah. I'm probably going to jump off a 8th deck of a cruise ship one day, kill myself.
Oh, my, please don't do that.
This is crazy. Wow. I did love football back then. Yeah. I'm fascinated with outer space,
astronomy.
That's why I said astronomy.
Yeah, sure.
But I now know that that's all mathematics.
And I'll go ahead and tell you, I took an astronomy class. I got all excited, thinking I was going to take an astronomy class. I thought it was going to be just we're going to sit and watch stars and do all that stuff. No, man, it was. I failed that class. It was horrible. It was a tough class.
Yeah, I did it in college in summer, a summer course at NC State. I did astronomy,
right?
And thank God it was a summer course because even the teacher was like, it's multiple choice. That one. Let's just move on. It was, but I really enjoyed astronomy. But you were talking about.
At least you went to college.
I went to community college for 2 years, Catawba Valley Community College right here in Hickory. They call it Harvard on the Highway, Duke in a ditch.
So I couldn't pronounce that word when I was a kid. I called it Catawba.
Most people
back here they had the Catawba Mall.
Yeah, the Catawba Mall.
Yeah.
I entered a breakdance competition there. Yes. I know all about the Catawba Mall. Mm-hmm. Talk your head off about that. But I want to circle back to where we were. See, I'm on a linear path. We'll take tangents, and I'm coming right back to where you left off. High school. That's what.
As soon as I graduated, I moved to Atlanta so that I could work for the Punchline more often. The Punchline was a chain of clubs back then that had 7 clubs, and I could do them twice a year as a host and make some money.
Sure.
And I mean, just what it's like back then. Your car's broke, so you take the bus. I took Greyhound to get from Columbia, South Carolina to Mobile. And
Sure, Augusta.
I was just talking with a friend of mine on the ship, Dean Gaines. He was there my second week ever on the road. So my very first week ever on the road, first time away from my folks, was Mac's famous bar in Daytona Beach.
Okay.
I was emceeing. The feature act was Tom Rhodes.
Oh, yes, Mr. Rhodes.
The headliner. Hold on.
Is he bigger than Mr. Rhodes?
Vince Champ. Come on now. That's got to ring a bell for you.
Oh, you have to Google that one now.
All right, so I'll tell you that story in a
Vince?
minute.
No, he's
You may
gonna
not want to
Google
talk
it.
about it.
Well, why? Do I know him?
He's in jail right now.
Oh, wait. Say no more.
That is him.
Before you go ahead and Google it, but I'm going to guess who it is.
That was my first week ever on the road.
Did he do colleges?
He did colleges. That's a great way to
Vince
put it.
Champ, comedian. He's in
That's a
jail
very
now.
funny way to put it.
Yeah, he did colleges, all right. Okay,
yeah.
so Alan, there's this thing called NACA.
This doesn't look good.
Yeah, no. The National Association for Campus Activities. It's you can make money as a comedian doing shows there, not being famous because they paid you a ridiculous amount of money for
still do.
for nothing. Yeah, it's great. So anyway, this dude would go do all these college tours, and then be done with the show. Thank you, good night, and then he would go to the neighboring college and break into like a girl's dorm and commence to the raping.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, and then he got caught. They just basically looked at his tour schedule and said, "Oh,
this
that's
fellow was-
interesting. Not that college you were in, but the one next to it." He
had
thought
had-
that's going to be his little way out.
He had a monochrome amount of success as a comedian as well. He had won the 100,000 on Star Search.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah. Remember
right.
Star Search with Ed
Yeah,
McMahon?
yeah.
Winner of Star Search in '92.
And
I didn't
so,
know he was. I didn't know he was on TV.
yeah.
I just thought he was like a college guy.
He did not rape me, as far as I remember.
No,
Yeah.
that's good.
Oh.
If you don't remember, it didn't happen.
Right.
That's great.
So, Tom Rhodes was
So Tom
certainly
Rhodes, what a great lineup.
he influenced me like no end. He was so cool.
Yeah.
When I saw him, I just
Yeah.
thought he is so cool.
Yeah.
I want to be like that.
Right, yeah, he's super
I was like
cool.
19, and he was just cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's only a year older than me, but anyway.
Yeah.
A chick magnet and just cool and
Good
I wanted to
looking,
be like the good looking fella.
suave.
And
Yeah.
So my second week, I leave there. I had got a call while I was there from the person who was trying to help me get work. It wasn't really my agent, but it was somebody who was trying to help me get work.
Yeah, well, that's the first step to getting the agent. Someone who's like going to do you a favor, who happens to know a guy at a club.
A name from I'll just drop the name because it's
Freddie DeMarco.
a blast from the past.
Oh.
No, but Freddie was awesome to me.
Yeah.
and really helped me a lot. And
shout
anyway,
out Freddie DeMarco.
Freddie was the one time.
Columbia,
Freddie said to
Missouri.
me, "He goes, I just want you to know I'm your biggest fan." And but he was. Anyway,
Go ahead.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Squirrel. So second week on the road. This was the furthest I'd ever traveled from my folks.
Okay.
From Daytona Beach to Mobile, Alabama. Just for the punchline. This was 1987, 88.
Wow.
The feature act was my friend.
That's when I wrote this.
My friend Dean Gaines, who I still am really good close friends with. We just hung out all last week, and anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't use the word friend lightly, by the way. So anyway.
Okay.
A lot of people, they think they're friends and stuff.
It's because of Facebook.
There's a lot of acquaintances
I got
out there.
friends on Facebook, do you?
Try to get them to help you move.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Yeah.
So the headliner that week was Steve Harvey.
Oh, wow.
And Steve
Whatever happened to
realized-
him?
I know, right?
He owns everything. Yeah.
So he was not famous like he is now.
Right.
But he was already doing quite well. He was very proud of his Bonneville. He goes. You see that Bonneville? Patti LaBelle bought that Bonneville. I'll never forget that. One time he told me that he got shot while he was in Cleveland. He told me that his nickname was Wonder Love.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his name. They called him Wonder Love. That's what he
Wow.
told me. So anyway, Steve was
Wonder
just,
Love.
he knew I was not doing well.
Yeah.
Because I was not doing well.
Okay.
I had like anxiety like you wouldn't believe.
You mean doing well in terms of a stand-up or as a human
As
being?
a human being. I grew up so sheltered that when I got out, this was my first year of college, kind of, sort of, in a way.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Figuratively.
Yeah. Sure.
And so
you're just out in the world, man. And that's a young age to be doing this.
And
yeah.
I was not under the watchful eye of my folks. So
Sure.
guess who was playing with alcohol?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so I was not well.
it's in the club. It's free.
And
People just
back then
hand
it wasn't
to
like
you.
it is now, where
Yeah, it's-
they had just assumed
there's
you're
no-
a comedian. You're obviously old enough to be here.
And I believe
yeah.
that back then, when you started, 18 was the age.
I
know
think it
what
was
it
right
is.
at
Just
21.
kidding.
I bet.
That was an
I don't
old
know.
joke.
But I had nice, yeah. Back when the wheel.
No, but yeah, I could see that
So,
totally
yeah.
happening. I mean,
But Steve was super nice,
Yeah.
and so was Dean, and they just really made me feel comfortable. And anyway,
Yeah.
that's how I cut my teeth doing stand up, and I just have been doing it ever since.
I'm still stuck
dadgum
on.
joke
See
at a
that
time.
Bonneville? Patty LaBelle bought
I
that
know,
for
right?
me. My nickname's Wonder Love.
He made black eyed peas.
I can see him. saying
We stayed in
that.
a condo back then together. You
Oh
remember
my
what it
God.
was like?
Yes, I've stayed in condos.
So he made black eyed peas, and he cooked for us, and then he went
great.
fishing during the day.
Wow, you got to call him up.
I mean,
Get me on Family Feud, man.
so
That's crazy.
Things
All
are
right, so
starting
wait a
to
second.
happen for me now, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
on your show. Next week, I'll probably be on Dale Jr.'s podcast.
Oh yeah, we're gonna call him. We gotta look
I just
that.
watched that yesterday. It was
haven't seen it
awesome.
yet.
Oh, my God, I loved it.
Yeah, I like
He had,
him. I just
Chase
haven't-
Elliott on yesterday.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to you though. So we're out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the road. We're going from punchline to punchline, and you're not
just
even
kept doing it.
You're not
I
even 20 yet.
I worked like that all the way, doing clubs, working my way up to headliner until I was probably until now. So somehow in all of that, I was working my way up in the club circuit, and I met a gal in Augusta.
Okay.
And we started dating.
Right.
And I would fly her to
Sure.
places, and we'd hang out. And finally, she moved to Nashville to live with me because I ended up in Nashville.
Okay.
I went from Atlanta to New York City. I lived there for a while.
Wow, how long were you in New York?
3 years.
No kidding.
Yeah. I worked at all the. I was very lazy though. I was playing
Yeah.
house with some girl, and yeah, I kept.
That's
moving,
easy to do.
I kept moving to where these women were that I was dating. Finally, from New York, I'd met some other girl while I was working in Michigan for Yoder.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You remember Yoder?
Sure,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
old Yoda runs.
So I would go out there and work, and me and her fell for each other. So I left this girl in New York for that girl. That
Oh,
was
my God.
stupid and horrible. But anyway, I've learned better boundaries than that now. But
No, but I'm loving this. You went from
So I
Florida,
moved to Michigan.
Augusta,
I lived there
New
for a while.
York, Michigan,
I've lived everywhere.
Nashville.
I've lived in the United States of America for the last 35 years.
Are a dang Johnny
Yeah. I've
Cash song.
been everywhere.
You are.
I've been everywhere, man. And that's all we can sing because you'll have to
That's-
pay.
yeah, that's true.
They'll cut it out. So
That's true. They do.
finally, moving from when I broke up with the girl in Michigan,
Okay.
or when she broke up with me,
Right. When it. Yeah.
I decided, okay, where do I want to live? Where do I want to go? Mm-hmm. And so I picked Nashville because I love country music.
Yep.
I love wearing this hat, and I don't want anybody to ask me why I'm wearing it. And in
Right,
Nashville,
right.
I can do all those
And
things.
it's not ironic that you're wearing
It's
it.
also right in the center of the United States where you can get anywhere within 24 hours driving because I
Yeah.
was afraid to fly back then.
Okay.
Long story, I dropped this guy at the airport who was killed on the airplane and that day.
What? Wait, people are jumping off cruise ships.
This guy worked for
people
my
are
dad.
dying on airplanes. You got to get out of here, buddy.
This guy worked for my dad, and my dad
Well,
goes.
this is my last one. I'm gonna.
My dad goes, give Steve a ride to the airport. So I give Steve a ride to the airport. Well, me and him talked about flying the whole time, and so he goes, yeah, it's the only way to go. I was like, yeah, I'm not a fan. My dad had a plane when I was a kid, and it kind of scared me. So anyway, but I get home later that day. They go, Steve was killed. So I grew
no.
up deathly afraid to fly. So imagine a road comedian who's afraid to fly.
Yeah.
Absolutely useless.
Yeah. It's,
So
it's kind of
eventually,
a-
God got me over all of that, and I
That's
fly
good.
all the time now.
So you moved from Nashville back to where?
So when I was living in
Florida.
Nashville,
Yeah.
I was doing the road still.
Yes.
and I met this young lady in Augusta.
Okay.
So at the
But that
comedy
was in
club.
Nashville. Okay.
I was
I mean, you
living,
were
in
living in
Nashville.
Nashville. Yeah.
But I was on the road in Augusta, and I met her.
This kind of stuff fascinates me as a road comic myself because I went from Hickory to Raleigh.
Right.
Stayed in Raleigh, but then did the road, based myself in Raleigh, but
Yep.
was all over the country. Didn't move to L.A. till 2000. Stayed in L.A. and was just moved back here about almost a year ago. But I love knowing the timelines and where you're based out of. So you're based in Nashville at the time. when you met Augusta.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what bothers me about this? You know how you've moved back here?
Yeah.
I hear some people say, Hickory, there ain't nothing to do here.
Oh, there's plenty.
They beat this town up a good bit. I love it here. Is that crazy?
I feel like it's partly my fault.
I love it here.
Because I made fun of this town. I love this town. It's my town. I grew up here. It's like your brother. You're the only one allowed to pick on your brother. That's how I feel about my town, Hickory. And the word hick is in the town's name.
Right.
So I think it's because of that people think hick town. But really, it's pretty nice here. It's beautiful. There's lots.
Rolling hills.
Yes, it's great.
We have a few tweakers at the Starbucks. Other than that, you know, hey.
Yeah, which one were you at?
They're right there.
Oh yeah, you're close. You're close to the
Over there on the Lenore
shelter.
Boulevard.
Well, isn't there something some sort of like not a homeless shelter? Is there a homeless shelter? Is it LR Boulevard?
It is LR Boulevard.
Yeah,
right.
That's
where the Starbucks was.
Yeah, well then there you go. That's
So you know what I remember about you doing that show in 2007 was, and this is still, I love this particular joke.
Oh boy.
You talk about the houseboat.
Yeah,
if we could just figure out a way to get this mobile home to float.
If we can get this double wide to float, we'd never have to leave the river. Yeah, I went on to do a thing called Pimp My Houseboat. Yeah, that was the whole thing.
That was great.
Yeah, I was watching that the other day because I'm about to put that back up on YouTube as a Throwback Thursday situation. And I'm sitting there watching myself like cringing because I'm like, oh my gosh.
But that was good. I like that bit.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because you're not really... I study comedy.
Yeah.
And so there's like, I have a joke in my show. I'll give you an example of where you lie to the audience a little bit. And so if you tell them the truth, it's always better. If you want to shop talk for a minute, this is how I write.
Okay.
And I go back through my show and I try to eliminate all the bull.
Okay.
I try to eliminate the lies.
Yeah.
So here's a joke, a typical joke from the show. She got me a fishing game for my computer. That thing is dadgum realistic. I'm sitting there drinking beer, catching fish, stand up in the boat, piss all over the living room carpet.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously you're lying in this joke because you'd have to be
you'd
have to be horribly drunk to be able to
pee
carry
on your
this off.
carpet. Yeah.
But for some reason they laugh at this and it's believable in a way because you could possibly drink that much alcohol.
Yeah.
One could.
Oh, I know guys who've pissed on their carpet many times. Yeah.
So it's funny for that reason.
Yeah.
But if you're truthful, it's better, and it hits harder if it's truthful. So I have learned to set things up in a different way.
Okay.
I'll give you an example of that exact same joke in a different way. She bought me a fishing game for my computer. I hate it. It's confusing. You're sitting there, drinking beer, catching fish. All of a sudden, you stand up in the boat and piss all over the living room carpet. This way, I'm asking them to use their imagination instead of telling them it's the truth and it happened.
Right. It's the same joke, but you're presenting it in such a way. Yeah. Well, that's good. And what I've noticed too, a lot of comedians starting out, because you want to write jokes. I mean, you want jokes to be in your act, even if you're a great storyteller. Great storytellers still have jokes within the story. They disguise it pretty good.
That's where they laugh. That's usually where
they stupid face, But a good story, like I see comics do this a lot. They'll memorize their jokes in an order, and they'll get up there and they just regurgitate it. And it looks like when I was trying to read, it sounds like that without the paper.
I call it doing it from rote.
Yeah. So, but then if you do it so much, then it becomes, then you get it memorized. Then, if it starts with truth, though, if it starts with a real thing, it makes it easier later on to get out of that monologue mode where it sounds like you're just reading it to now you're just, like I'm just talking to you right now, except there's jokes in it. So I think that's kind of what you did on that one, was like it started off as, here is a joke, and then the joke turned into like, well, this is something that kind of happened. You know what I mean? Like you made it more of a real story.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll notice, this is stuff you only notice if you watch yourself again, like if you roll back the tape and you watch it.
Yeah.
You know the material so well, you've got it memorized so well that you go so fast that you don't deliver it well enough for them to follow you along.
Yeah.
You take it for granted that you know the story so well, and anyway. So you really have to be in the moment and take your time with everything, but not do it from rote either.
Yeah. So how did you get from doing all this road stuff, right, to getting on CMT?
Oh my! They called me out of the blue because of my website, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. The hat has opened a lot of doors. However,
so
the
you
hat
didn't
closes
have-
a lot of doors as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a manager, an agent, or anything like that. You were just
They
on
called
your...
me out of the blue. That was
Wow.
Tail Light Productions.
Tail Light Productions in Nashville.
Productions,
Yeah.
So somewhere in that traveling, when her and I met,
Yeah.
I got a call while I was going down the road. They said, "How close are you to Branson?" I went, "I'm pretty close. I'm an hour."
Yeah.
God. So I went to Branson and did a showcase, and I got that job. So I stayed in Branson for 2 years.
Did you?
At a place called Country Tonight. They still have a theater in Knoxville, in Pigeon Forge.
Did you work with Yakov Smirnoff?
So I went to his show one time, but I never worked with him.
Okay, because he basically
He's still there.
set
Is
up
he not
camp
still there?
I think so.
Yeah, he's got his own theater.
He
there
did a
still.
smart thing, which I kind of envy in a weird way, and I'm quietly,
You could have your own theater there.
I'm kind of patting myself out of that for here in Hickory, dude.
Okay.
Like I want to be the
Cool.
Yakov Smirnoff
Of Hickory.
of
So you don't want to go there. You want to have.
I want people to come here.
Boy, that would be great. That is every comedian's
Yeah.
wet dream. Can I say that on the air?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can say anything you want.
Yeah,
This is the internet.
That's why we want to go to Vegas so badly and have your own. Like, what do they call that when you have your own thing? At
A residency.
A residency,
Yes.
like Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could have a residency here in Hickory.
Well, I kind of do at my mom's house.
So do people come out and pay a cover to be at your mama's house?
But not yet. That's what I'm working on.
Amphitheater in the backyard.
That's what I'm working on.
My.
Well, luckily because of this guy right here, Alan Jackson, not the country singer. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
This guy. That's his real name is Alan
That is.
Jackson.
It's Alan Jackson. but
Yeah.
Can't sing a lick. So don't.
He doesn't. He's not crazy about a Mercury, and he's never been to the Chattahoochee River.
The
the Chattahoochee. Yeah, see there.
Isn't this the Catawba River here?
Catawba River.
Yeah,
Way
I know
down
the Catawba
yonder
River.
on the Catawba.
There you go. Never knew how much that muddy water meant to me.
That's got a nice ring to it. I like
That-
Yeah.
Oh, they were write that down. You guys remember that? Samantha Dawn Kingston sent me an email. Yeah, I came back here, because of the situation with Dad
Right.
and everything else. And I thought, long story short, there's many avenues to why this happened, but I had the opportunity to do a TV pilot here called Hickory Live. And I partnered with this guy, and that's what we're trying to do is get this TV show made once a week, done here. It's like a Tonight Show,
Cool.
but here in Hickory.
Absolutely.
We've already shot the pilot.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Weren't you recently on Joe Rogan's podcast?
Yes, I
so
was.
I saw parts of that, I think.
Okay.
Same way that you influenced me in that way.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in New York,
Yeah.
I was just,
Yeah.
I'd been doing comedy for a little bit, but not long.
Right.
Well,
It's gonna be tough to be
I
in New
saw
York.
Joe.
Okay,
In
okay.
fact, I was at Pips or Jimmy's Comedy Alley in Brooklyn is where I was, not
Okay.
Pips. I'm sorry, Jimmy's Comedy Alley in Queens.
I wouldn't know.
So somewhere in New York.
Okay.
My memory is like anyway. It was in Jimmy's Comedy Alley in Queens somewhere.
All right.
So I went and I did a guest spot or whatever. Well, I did some stupid joke. Probably something from vaudeville. Believe it or not.
Sure.
I didn't learn how important it was to write your own stuff until
Right,
later
right.
in life. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I go up and I do my little thing. Well, Joe goes up after me, and I can't tell you what the joke was because it's dirty. You don't care?
I don't care because
Okay.
this is YouTube.
So this
which
was
is
the old
internet.
vaudeville joke where you go,
Yeah.
I would never masturbate. One time I was cleaning it and it went off.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old. That's been
It is
around
an
forever.
old joke.
Right.
From vaudeville.
Sure.
And so...
I think when the gun was invented, that was the next
right,
joke.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Day 2.
Yeah. Right.
First day,
Someone
guy got shot.
said it
Second day,
happened, and
somebody
someone-
wrote that. Right.
Yeah. So that's how old it is, but that's fine. So you just say it on
So
stage.
Joe goes up after me, and you got to figure Joe was not famous back then. He was just
Right.
raw.
Yeah.
But he gets up there after me, and he went off on a 5-minute tangent on how he goes. I can't believe this comedian gets up here and he goes, I would never masturbate. He goes, I do it like 10 times a day.
Right.
And I just
Right.
went, okay, all right.
Yeah.
First, I was mortified because the other comedian's talking about me and making fun of me.
Yeah.
Second of all, I was inspired. I was like, okay, he's not going to lie to him. He's going to be truthful.
Right.
And so
Oh,
I
okay.
thought, okay, I got to work on that.
Right.
And so I'm still.
That's interesting.
I still am hypercritical of myself in that capacity, but I aspire to be that good.
Yeah. Well, when I went to LA for the first time, when I moved to LA, I've been doing the road. So when you do the road, it's MC, feature, headliner, typically. Mm-hmm. Well, I remember the Comedy Store was the first time I had seen where they don't do that. It's a new comedian every 20 minutes from 7 till 2 in the morning. Mm. And so you kind of have to, if you're going to go up, if you call in for a spot at the Comedy Store and your spot's at 12:30 midnight and you have to follow somebody who just killed, or doesn't matter, whoever you follow, it's almost because it's tag team, and those people didn't come there to see a specific comedian. They came there to see comedy.
Do they bring you up, the last guy?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's tag team. So when that happens, in a weird way, it's kind of like that's just how it's done. Mm-hmm. So whoever brings you up, it's like, hey, give it up for bing, bada, bing, bang, bing. And it's just, you got to say something about that guy because he just was there. Now you're here. There was no buffer. So I think that's probably just what he was doing to get into his masturbation material. You know what I mean? That's probably all it was. It's like, oh, good. He said that joke.
Open door.
Now I can do my masturbation
right.
stuff. Yeah.
Or, just to play devil's advocate, he was actually shocked that I would get up there and try to bullshit the audience like that.
Who knows?
Yeah.
He knows, but that does happen. I love the guy. He was very nice to me when I first got to LA.
Super funny.
He's like the shepherd for comedians out there. You know, he's always been nice to me. And he paid me a very nice compliment. One of the first times he followed me, and I brought him on stage, and I happened to have a great set. And then he came up to all this applause. He was like, "Well, I'll give it up for your next sitcom star right there, John Reap."
Nice.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I didn't make it to some sitcom.
So I watched you on Rodney.
Yeah, Rodney. Yeah.
So one time when I was, I don't remember where I was in Oklahoma, in Enid, Oklahoma, and Rodney and I are doing a one-nighter together.
Okay.
This was back in the day.
Sure.
Again, I go back to this, I'm always influenced by or inspired by all of these stories that have ever happened to me as a comedian. So I'm working in Enid, Oklahoma with Rodney, and we're doing this one-nighter. And middle of nowhere, and my ride has dropped me off, and they're going to do another one-nighter 150 miles away. So Rodney has agreed to give me a ride back to Oklahoma City where my ride can come pick me up.
Okay.
So we got to hang out together.
Yep.
Well, I loved him. I thought he was amazing.
He's great.
I think he's wonderful.
I do too.
He's so charismatic that if he was here right now, instead of telling you this bullshit story, he'd probably be making you laugh right now. So anyway, that's how I took him.
Yeah, he's great.
So we hung out. That night I watched him go up on stage. He did not have a cowboy hat on at the time.
Oh, interesting.
And he played piano. He did not play guitar.
Yeah.
And so, but the next day we drive to Oklahoma, and we go through Garth Brooks' hometown, Yukon, Oklahoma, just hanging out, buds.
Okay.
And so he had made maybe $200, $300 at the little gig there. Mm-hmm. This is the point of the story. And then he was in his sister's car, if I'm not mistaken, because his car was broke in Texas.
Right.
It was broke. Instead of taking the money and saving it like a typical person would, and putting it toward having your car repaired, he went and he got himself a room at the Hilton on like the 14th floor, so that we would all come over that night and see him hanging out in because that's how he thought of himself.
Yes.
And so ever since then, I remember that, and I think to myself, when I have money, I take care of myself and I treat myself accordingly. I don't stay at the Motel 6. I spend a little money and I get myself a decent room or whatever.
Sure. Sometimes you gotta splurge and make yourself feel good about doing this.
I can't
it's
always,
a lot of choice.
I can't always go off the chain.
Yeah,
right.
You can't stay in the Motel 6 every time,
right.
but every now and then I'm going to splurge on me because I deserve it. Yeah, it's kind of like projecting your future. It's
during my divorce, which I've been going through for the last 6 months, I have taken very good care of myself. I stay at the Hilton almost every time I need a hotel. I'm at the Hilton.
Nice.
And so it's cost me some money, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And so recently,
if it makes you happy.
Yeah. And I don't feel. She wanted me to stay there and clean out the house and all this stuff, and instead I took money and I went to the Hilton.
Wait, so it's 6 months now?
Yeah.
Is it final?
Final in June. So maybe a month and a half ago it's been final.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I found
Welcome
out about
to the club.
hour.
Wait, real quick.
my.
No, here. I won't leave you hanging. I forgot to start this thing, Alan. So I have no idea.
Oh, you're
time
at
wise.
hour 5.
Oh shoot. Okay, that flew by. But go ahead, finish that part.
I found out about 30 minutes before you and I sat down at this table that she has legally changed her name back.
Oh,
So that
to
was-
her.
Yeah,
to her
that hurt
maiden
my
name.
feelings a little bit, and I don't know why. Why should I care?
She's like, well,
Yeah.
give it back to him. I'm not using it.
Yeah.
That's great.
She can pretend it didn't happen. That's absolutely fine with me. But every time she looks at my kid, she'll know I was there.
So you're John Wesley Austin.
Correct.
Why the 3 names? I'm Jonathan David Reap.
Do
I
you
just
really
go by
want to
John
know?
Reap. I mean,
should I really
was there-
tell the truth here?
Well, I'm just curious. Was there? Let me tell you my theory first. My theory.
You're totally
Because-
wrong, but go ahead.
Well, I have a friend named W. Earl Brown.
Okay.
Earl Brown. But he has to say W. Earl Brown because of the Screen Actors Guild. There was
Hmm.
already someone with that name registered who was doing, the same gig as him. Was there another John Austin out there?
There is one, but I didn't meet him till about 2 years ago.
Okay.
John Wesley Austin.
Yeah.
And he uses a stage
Oh,
name.
no kidding.
Yeah, and he works for
Oh,
Carnival.
I didn't know that.
He worked for Carnival as
Are you kidding me?
a break dancer, and his name is Poppin' John. He's a break dancer, so he.
Wow.
yeah.
So you got cowboy and breakdancer
Yeah.
dancer on one ship with the same name.
So a lot of times in show business, these people will go to the trouble to have a stage name. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes when someone's growing up, their real name is maybe too hard to put on the marquee.
Yeah.
So maybe I had a lot of that when I was a kid. I thought maybe my name might be too hard to. Then I look at a guy like Anthony Jeselnik, who's hilarious,
Oh, right.
and his last name is Jeselnik, and
Yeah.
I think to myself, well, maybe it ain't that important. I don't know.
Well, if that's
But,
the theory, why the 3 names?
So
You got 3. John
my name
Wesley
as of
Austin.
today is John Wesley Austin, and
Yes.
you dance with the one that brought you, and so that's who I am.
Exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a lot of famous people with a stage name, and
I'm sure
my
there are.
original, I just might as well let the cat out of the bag. My real name was Larry the Cable Guy.
You got it done, all right. That's good. That's good. Do we have time for?
Let's talk about the RV real quick.
Okay, so this is how I. Yes, I saw the post. I saw the RV. I'm like, what the? Okay,
In
it's-
working for the cruise ship, I
Do
have
it.
come to realize that I don't need that much space.
Right.
And when I'm off, I want to go have fun. I don't want to play house.
Sure.
I don't want to mow. I don't want to paint. I don't want to fix nothing. I have money.
Yeah.
That's not why I did this.
Yeah.
I want to have fun, and I want to be able to go wherever I want to go.
Sure.
My favorite place right now is a place called Brevard, North Carolina. I
my
like to go over
God.
there. And in fact, not that long ago, me and you stayed in the same house, and you didn't even know it, I don't think.
What?
You were doing a gig in Charlotte for the Comedy Zone, and
Yeah.
they put you up in a condo. And if you remember,
Oh,
you
yeah.
walked
Yeah,
in
yeah.
and you saw my mountain
Your
bike
mountain
on the
bike.
left-hand side in the living room.
Yes, you
So,
were there.
I was there for 12 hours while I
right.
went and did this other gig. Me and you stayed in the same condo.
We were 2 ships passing
Yeah,
in the
right,
night.
right,
I didn't
right.
even.
But you never come out of your room.
I like
I'm
my,
sure you were
my beauty
quite
sleep.
tired from checking in and stuff. So anyway, and I was gone by the time you'd got up. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
But I brought my mountain bike so I could go to Brevard.
Oh,
and
so you do some mountain
When I
biking.
bought this RV a month ago, I made sure that it had everything that I needed. That mountain bike is up on the bunk bed.
Yeah.
Always. That's where it's going to stay until and when I get off, like I'll either hang out. My first priority is my child.
Yep.
So I'll either ask my kid, "Do you want to hang out?"
Yep.
Or if she don't, then I'm going to Brevard or somewhere
mountain
up here.
biking.
And I'm going mountain biking.
That's awesome. There's
My goal is to live in the North Georgia mountains because I like the laws in Georgia, but I'm pretty happy here too. So you never
yeah.
know.
Well, Hickory suits you, man.
I love it here.
It's great here, and
Yeah.
you fit right in. I'm like I said before. I'm jealous. I want an RV.
I can help you buy one.
Yeah,
I know
so
where to get them, and I know
that's on my
about what they should cost.
I want a boat. I want an RV, and I want my dang lake house. But
Nice.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm staying with Mom right now until everything gets worked
Right.
out. But that's great, dude.
So this RV was $70,000, and
Yeah.
it has a full wall slide out.
Yeah.
And it's got a king size bed in the back.
How long are you here for now? This before you go back on the road?
Tomorrow I'm leaving. I'm going to Brevard.
Oh, that's right.
So I was going to go on Tuesday. And
Yeah.
when you wrote me and said, "Will you be on my show?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" So I
crazy.
stayed an extra 2 days, and anyway,
Yeah.
which is awesome for me.
Well, stick around. I have to do this next segment
Please, go
because
ahead.
I do it every. This is something we've started. I have a segment called Throwback Thursday. Do you participate in that kind of stuff? You put up an old picture and let people comment on it.
I've certainly heard of it.
Yeah, so we're doing this thing called Meme Me or Caption This, and I put up an old picture and I pick a winner, and let's just get into it. Show the intro there, buddy. Ooh, memer, me, won't you make a meme out of me? Oh, that sound good. Or caption this. Or caption this. I'm not sure what we were calling it, but those are the ones we've done so far. And basically, I put an old picture up, and I say the comment with the most likes wins a free hat. And this is the hat right here. This is my JR hat. It's my initials, back-to-back, JR. My brother's name's Jason. We made this logo when we was kids anyway. It's just something I got, and you're going to get one if you get the most likes on your comment. And 3 people are getting hats. A YouTube winner, a Facebook winner, Instagram winner. Now, let's show the picture. Boom! Look at that. What year do you think that was, John Wesley Alston? I mean, let's look at the clothes. Look at the tucked in. What is this shirt here? Remember, it's like a Panama Jack, but do you remember that brand? I don't remember the brand.
Like a Hobie?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, my.
it's Hobie.
Good job.
That's it.
Hobie.
I'm not
So that
playing
gives you-
trivia with that fella. He's going to beat your butt.
Yeah.
So that gives you the idea of what year this is.
I don't know. I don't even know how old you are. I have no idea. Are we
by the way,
close?
that's me right there.
Are we close in age?
Oh, I'm 47.
I'm 51.
Okay, that's not too far. Yeah. Okay, so this would have been. I want to say this is about the same time I wrote this. I want to say this is 87 right here, 88, 87. You got me. You see the bus back there? We're on our way to a church camp.
Oh, my.
This is the youth group at West Hickory Baptist Church, and we're going away for a week to Fort Caswell Beach. And that's the group, some of the group right there. You got
So this
me.
fella on the left, he was really good in the Breakfast Club.
That's right. Keith Whaley. That's Brad Whaley's brother there, Alan. That's Keith Whaley.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
And
Yep.
he was the stud of the group, although he did look like.
Oh, my.
Or I was going to say the bad guy on Karate Kid.
Yeah, he's definitely
Sweep
got
the
that
leg,
going.
Johnny.
Yeah. Definitely has that going on.
He looked like the bully. And, so
Like
he
the
was-
bully in every 80s movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's got a members only jacket somewhere, tucked in, no belt. That's the style back then. Anyway.
First night I did stand up in that contest, I was wearing that dadgum members only jacket.
Oh, dude, we all had one. I had 2 of them. I had a maroon one and a black one. But then you got so that's Keith Whaley. Front and center, the girl with the glasses on, the shades, is Dodie Bowman, good friend of mine. Sweetheart. She's now like a very important bigwig in Raleigh. She works at a very big law firm, and she makes lots of money.
Nice.
Her future was bright, you can tell. She had to
wearing
wear
the shades.
shades.
That's
Yeah,
right.
nice.
She knew it. Good. And for him, that's Mark Yuntz right there.
Too cool for school.
Too cool for school. All of about poor guy. He hasn't grown at all.
Oh, my.
He is that same height.
Yeah.
I want to say exactly 5 feet tall, maybe 4'11". Have you seen this viral video called the Bagel Boss? All right, look that up. I think that's kind of what he grew up to be, kind of like the Bagel. I'm kidding, Mark Yuntz. I love you, but that's Mark Yuntz, good guy. Me, my brother Jason. He was the good-looking one with the shades.
He's the Dale Earnhardt Jr. of the group. Look at him.
Yeah, he was tan. He was blonde hair, nice little mullet going. Casio digital watch.
With the calculator or no? I can't
think
see it
that.
from here.
I don't know if I don't think that one had the calculator.
All right.
Julie Lale, and then this dude named Cassidy, I think, and we were on our way to Fort Caswell Beach, and I just put that up online. I said, "What do you think it is?"
I like how they're flashing gang signs.
Yeah,
These kids
Well,
today.
This was I was big into the Beastie Boys right about here, so I was probably singing Paul Revere right there in my head.
I still love the Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys, yeah, doing that move. But yeah, that's on our way to Fort Caswell, and let's see here. The
You look different, by the way.
I have
Yeah,
little
you've
facial
changed
hair.
a little.
Yeah. The hair, a little bit of a mullet going on here, not too much. That's still here. Thank God. My poor brother, no hair. Yeah.
Wow, that's awful.
Ow! Looks good. Well, the hat looks great.
Sometimes I'll be on stage.
I mean, I'm going right up here. It's about to go.
Some woman will yell out, take your hat off, and then I'll take the hat off, and they'll go, put your hat back on. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Appreciate the vote of confidence.
Good Lord.
Oh, and that's Heather Wiles. I can't believe I let her Heather Wiles. So anyway, here's the winners on YouTube. Jason Remington. YouTube, it's they're just now getting into photos where you can have a community and post memes or pictures.
Oh, right, sure, yeah.
So this one had 17 comments, and I think I like his the best.
Okay.
And he said, "We're going to need a shorter bus."
That's amazing.
That's good.
That's great. Yeah.
That's really good.
I feel like I should give Jason 2 hats.
That is hat worthy. Yeah.
I should have read that one last.
I'm embarrassed that I didn't think of that first.
I know.
Dang it, Bobby.
I know. That's really good.
Yeah.
And that got the least amount of, that was on YouTube.
Yeah.
I got most of my audience is on Facebook.
Sure, right, yeah.
So on Facebook, it got 191 comments.
Wow.
And this guy who came in first got 27 likes. A guy named Christopher Franner II. And it just said, "I'm Ginger Cool." And, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand what
You were, I guess.
These are facts.
Right, yeah.
It's not what I would first go to in this picture, though. I mean, there's only one ginger in the picture.
As far as funny, I think the other one's a little bit
funnier.
stronger.
Way stronger.
Yeah.
But this dude, this is how the game works. He got the most likes. So he
Life
lobbied.
is a popularity
He went
contest.
out. He did. He went out and lobbied.
Yeah.
He took.
There was a campaign online.
He did. He took some Facebook ads out. But I appreciate you, Christopher Franner. You want to get this? This is coming at you pretty soon. And on Instagram, this person got 15 likes, and she just said it was I don't know how to pronounce this. Sharodell. 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 Anyway, her comment was, "This one time at band camp."
Man, that's cute.
That's from the movie. That's good.
That's kind of setting itself up for
We're
that.
going to need a shorter bus.
No,
It's a winner.
That's really good.
Winner.
Dude, I could sit here and
dinner.
talk to you for another
Oh
8
my
hours, but we got to wrap her up. And you brought your guitar
I know.
because you do songs and whatnot.
I do. But
You wanna,
now
do we
we're
have
out of time,
for
so
it?
they're
Do
going
you
to have
want
to
to do a jingle, or do you
Oh,
want to just
my.
have people
Play something, yeah.
go find you out there on the interwebs? You tell me. Alan wants to hear something.
I do.
Are you prepared to play something?
Oh,
Look at this bad
Oh,
boy.
he's got it all ready to go.
That's
so
a nice
he's good.
guitar.
I set out to write the most politically incorrect love song you ever heard. I think I've done it. Here we go. Well, I was standing by the bar and she stole my heart when her wheelchair rolled my way. She's the handicap queen of the honky tonk. She's got her very own parking space. She lost her leg in a threshing machine, but if you play her favorite song, she can do the two-step, it just takes her twice as long. I hold her tight, we dance all night, things have never been so good. I'll never forget the night we met and I swept her off her foot. Her only physical challenge is keeping her balance on the dance floor when I give her a whirl, but I ain't never had nobody lean on me like my one-legged country girl.
That's beautiful.
If you ain't laughing at this, you're going to hate the song about cancer, I swear to God. Verse 2. She can ride the mechanical bull, but 7 seconds is her best. It seems that she falls right off every time it turns left. Think about that.
Yeah.
She used to have one that was made of wood. You can blame it on desire. I guess we just got too close when we snuggled up by the fire. I hold her tight, we dance all night, things have never been so good. She would not run around on me, even if she could. We don't do the electric slide, which to me is funny all by itself. For her it's suicide, 'cause her lower limbs ain't plural. They're not plural. She's got one. I think we went over that. Ella tiene solamente uno. Ain't never had nobody get this quiet during the plural part or lean on me. One time there was a woman at Ani, she had one leg and she was pissed. And I outran her. One flight of stairs I never saw her again. Hopping mad. Ridiculous. One time there was a guy in the audience had one leg. He had a very good sense of humor. He popped his fake leg off and he waved it around in the damn crowd.
Well, that's
I didn't know
good.
what to say. He stumped me. Like no one-legged country girl.
John Wesley Austin, everybody. Oh, man. You can play the guitar real good. That reminds me of I did a spoof song with a buddy of mine named Zach Selwyn called Moves Like Haggard. It's based on the song Moves Like
awesome.
Jagger.
I love it.
And it's the same, it's a country version
That's
of the
great.
song. And it's not about Merle Haggard. It's about a girl who looks like Merle Haggard in a dress. So when you were singing that, I was thinking, all right,
When I first wrote this song, she had all kind of trouble, and then I decided to kind of narrow it down.
Yeah. Well, there you go, folks. Where can people find you on the interwebs?
JohnWesleyAustin.com. That way they can get to my Facebook page right through there. They can get to my Twitter page right through there. You can probably send me an email. You can probably find my phone number on there.
He's on tour in his RV right now.
Being a single man nowadays is difficult. I've been not out of the game for a while.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to send dick pics.
Oh, no.
Yeah. The one I have up there right now is me pushing my grandma down the stage. I thought that was down the stairs. I thought that was dicky enough.
I have a new album out called Ginger Pain, and I have a whole bit called Dick Pic, and you should look it up. I
will.
It's. I had to send one too, but it wasn't mine. If I'm going to send one,
That's
I'm
how you
going
gotta
to
do it
pick
right
a good
there.
one. Just type it in and pick yours out and send it. That's what I did. That was a mistake. It's in the. It's in the story. So go look him up online. I've got tour dates. If you go to johnreap.com, he's there right now. johnreap.com. That's the album Ginger Pain. It's like Prince's Purple Rain.
I freaking love the cover. That's freaking amazing.
Dude, it's everywhere. SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify. It's on YouTube. It's on this very channel on YouTube right now. Ginger Pain for free. What else we got on johnreap.com? The cruise ship.
Hell yeah.
Maybe you'll come out on the cruise ship.
Oh my, that's awesome.
What a great show that would be. Hickory Live Show, that's the pilot that we did. We're still shopping that around Los Angeles. Agents are talking, wheeling and dealing right now.
Beautiful.
Fried Podcast, we're on that right now. Tour dates, I just added one. This just happened right before I got here. I am going to Chicago.
Me too.
August the 16th through the 18th. Are you going to come up there?
I'm getting a tattoo at this place called Venture Tattoo. I'm doing my whole right arm. I've already paid the deposit.
When?
This is November 12th.
Oh, okay.
November
I'll be
12th
long
and 13th.
gone by then. I'll tell them you're coming.
Cool.
Maybe I'll stop by there.
I'm just going for the tattoo.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, Chicago's it's one of my favorite cities. I always have a good time in Chicago.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Wintertime is not bad. I mean, wintertime is the worst time. This is a good time to go. August the 16th through the 18th at the Improv in Chicago.
Hell yeah.
And then after that, Myrtle Beach. I'll be at Carolina Comedy Club August 26th to the September 1st. Then Charlotte at the McGlowan Theater on the 27th. All these dates are at johnreap.com. Cruise ship, Ginger Pain, John Reap, Cameo. If you want me to send you a personal message, maybe a birthday wish, maybe someone just got divorced and you want to congratulate them, you can go to Cameo. I'm on Cameo. That's something that you can do as well. Also, Ginger Beard Man, new comedy special coming out August the 20th. It's going to be on iTunes, Amazon, Google, Xbox, Vimeo, all this stuff. August 20th. It's called The Ginger Beard Man. I'm milking this ginger stuff. And you can find all that at johnreap.com. I've had a great time. Did you have a good time?
Awesome. I think it's great.
This is where we
Enjoyed
start
it.
playing the music.
Yeah, we'll start
This
playing
is
the
it.
music.
Thank you
We're
so much
done,
for having me, John
Wesley
Reap.
Austin.
Good to see you, buddy.
You're a good man.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. Welcome to Hickory. And happy Friday, everybody. Bicycle. Bicycle.